Dead Pair Podcast is brought to you by Kohler Arms, America's competition shotgun, and is fueled by Fiocchi.
Welcome to the Dead Pair Podcast, coming in hot with everything you want to hear about sporting clays. With your hosts, Jason Rambo.
This is what I have to work with, everyone.
And Sean Alley.
Like I said, I was just thirsty.
Oh, boy.
Often imitated, but never duplicated. It's the Dead Pair Podcast. It's showtime.
Welcome back, everyone. What's up there, Mr. Large and in Charge?
Jason, doing good. How about yourself, buddy?
Doing all right. Shot a little charity event. Went down to Tampa Bay Sporting Clays for the first time. Really neat place. They're not a tournament club, but they do a lot of charity events, a lot of corporate events, and went down there and shot that. That was pretty cool.
Gotcha.
So, about you? You doing any shooting?
Yeah, just starting to get the season rolling. I went to Hillendale a couple weekends ago, and then Airport Ridge last weekend. It's Mother Nature's still not quite on the kind side of things yet. So we're shot in the snow at Hillendale. It was interesting, and Airport wasn't too bad. A little windy, of course, it always is up there, but it was just a little cold. By the time it was 2:00, it wasn't too bad. But we're getting there. It's slowly going to get better than what it has been.
Yeah. Well, the next big one for me, we got Florida State coming up. What about you? Any big tournaments coming up you're going to, or anything of any size?
I mean, not right now. Just, Ohio State, the Northeast Regional, those are coming up this summer. You know, the local stuff around here, just until we get my wife figured out as far as what's going on with her. Just going to shoot local. So Cardinal, Hillendale, Eagles Nest, South Cuyahoga, you know the usuals, Airport Ridge.
I love that statement. Get your wife figured out. No, I think she's trying to figure you out, Sean. Come on now, give that girl some credit.
That's never going to happen. So she might as well just give up on that.
That poor girl, right? You know.
Yep. Absolutely.
Oh man. Well, hey, listen, we do not have a tourney talk to get to this week, but we do have. Obviously, we need to make sure everybody is getting your tickets for the Kohler Dead Pair drawing. Man, I'm telling you, somebody's going to win that thing, and it might as well be you, as Sean Alley always says. So, get to our website. You can. There's a link right there up at the top. If you're on your phone, it's a little drop-down menu. It says Kohler drawing, or you go right down to the bottom of this podcast. I got a link right there in the description. You can click on that as well. Sean Alley, I bet you're jonesing to buy a ticket as bad as I am, but we just can't do it, my friend.
I would love to, but you know what I did do is both at Hillendale and Airport Ridge, I was talking to a lot of the people out there. Say, hey man, you guys put your hat in put your drawing in the hat because somebody's going to win it. Might as well be one of you guys, like I say with everybody, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's a nice gun." So yeah, probably be some lucky person getting that and be very, very happy at the end of this year.
Yeah. Hey, tonight we're talking to Mr. Frank Bruno, Andrew Chic Pisani, we call him Chicky, and Matt Milazzo of Tunnels to Towers. So, and Frank and Chicky are with Team 911. A little bit of shift there in the team. It's now Team 911. And the union has now happened with Tunnels to Towers, and it's a really cool story, and I can't wait for Matt to tell us all about it. Tell us how they came to be and what they do. I've got little bits and pieces here and there, and it sounds really cool, but what a cool organization between the two of them to come together like that and what they do at shoots.
Yeah, we were down there at the Dead Pair Blast last year at Vero, and we got to see the trailer firsthand. They've got a bunch of really cool photographs, and they'll walk you through the trailer and kind of tell you a story about what they were doing that day and what was happening that day with some of their friends and colleagues. Really emotional. We saw quite a few people get teared up just over the discussion that was going on in there. And if you guys get a chance to visit their trailer when they're out and about, on the circuit, on the tour, definitely advise you guys to stop in, take a look, and talk to Frank and Chicky. They're number one, are great guys. Number two, fantastic thing that they're doing as far as bringing awareness to 9/11 and what happened that day and their own personal experiences.
Yeah. And what's came of it since then, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Sean, I'm anxious to talk to him. Let's get all three of them on the phone.
Cool.
Hey everyone, each and every week you hear Sean and I brag about our sponsors, and it's not because they sponsor the show, it's because of their products and the unmatched customer support behind each and every single one of those products. We hope you're taking the time to investigate for yourself, try the products out, and see why we love them so much. Hey Toby Tomplay, you want to remind everyone who we're talking about?
I'd love to, Jason. Kohler Arms, America's competition shotgun. Fiocchi USA. Here at the Dead Pair, we're fueled by Fiocchi. Ranger Performance Eyewear. See it further, see it faster, see it clearer with Ranger. Atlas Traps, America's finest clay target equipment. Rhino Chokes. For deadly patterns and knockdown power, choose Rhino. Long Range, the industry standard for trap release and target management systems. Taconic Distillery. After the tournament is over, it's time for one more shot with Taconic Distillery. Score Chaser, your shoots simplified. Clay Range Design Works, your one-stop shop for all your clay target needs. And now, back to the show.
All right, we have got a full roundtable here. We have Frank Bruno and Andrew Chic Pisani from Team 911 and Matt Milazzo. Did I say that right, Matt?
Yes, you did.
Matt Milazzo from Tunnels to Towers. Guys, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Greatly appreciate your time. It's really, how do I say this? It sucks that you have to do what you're doing, but it's so great that you're doing what you're doing. You know, we had an event in our nation that was absolutely devastating and a huge tragedy, but you guys have done something. You know, everything bad that happens, something good comes out of it. And what you guys are doing is absolutely amazing. So Sean and I are very honored, very thrilled to have you guys on tonight to talk about that. And,
yes, indeed.
And bring some light to everybody, because I think you guys, you need some help. And I think people should spend the time to visit the trailer when they see it out at a shoot or whatnot. Chicky, I kind of like to start with you, buddy. You know, the team has shifted gears from what you were a few years back. And look, everything ends badly or else it wouldn't end, right? So that's all we need to talk about with that. So moving forward, tell us all about Team 911 and what it is that you guys are doing.
Okay. What we did is, we had a different, we went off in a different direction. And, we're coming up with different names, what we were going to do. And so since Frank and I were both in Ground Zero, and, as were a lot of other first responders, but since we were both there and we got those wonderful guns from Kohler that everybody loves, Ground Zero, that 9/11 is very sacred to me in a sense. And what I want to do is I said, you know what, Frank and I sat down, talked about it, and we said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to be Team 911. We're going to invite all first responders to join our team and civilians. And I said, we want to model it after the Fraternal Order of Police, which is one of the organizations I belong to, which is active and retired cops. And they also bring in associate members that are civilians who want to support police officers. So I said, we're going to use that model. And we're going to invite, whatever cop, fireman, EMS, nurse, ER nurse or whatever, anyone and any civilian who wants to join us to promote, what we do, as far as shooting and as far as spreading and keeping the memory of 9/11 alive. And we do that now. You guys have seen the inside of the trailer, and basically there are pictures. Some of those are my pictures. Some of them are Frank's. Some of them belong to John Lemkin, and so we tell our stories to everyone, and it's also a healing for me, because every time I tell the story, it heals me a little bit more. And because I know that, I'll still break down once in a while when I really get into it. And I think you guys saw that the one day, with the letter from my friend's mother.
Yes.
I can't read it. When I start reading it, I break.
Right.
And it's this emotion that, we don't want to let it die.
Right.
And that's the whole thing. We want to keep the word going. And we also, it's as an educational thing, because a lot of people from the Midwest and out West, they were not affected by it as badly as we were on the East Coast. And, so we dispel a lot of the rumors. And what's really nice is that we when the families come in, like when we see kids, out there shooting and whatnot, or they're with their dad, and we tell them, we invite them back to the trailer, and we ask the kids, well, what do you know about, Ground Zero and 9/11 and what happened? And they tell us very little, that, what they learned in school. They said, basically it's this. It's, well, two planes crashed in the World Trade Center, and they came to, they collapsed, and a lot of people died. That's all some of the kids tell us.
Yeah.
So we go farther, and we tell our stories, and they're all in awe. And
right.
Education is real important.
Yeah, and we just want to keep it going. And the first time we did it in nationals, this past year, I remember I went out shooting, and I came back to the trailer, and Frank was like, he was frantic, and he's going, Chicky, he says, Jesus Christ, he says, people are coming in here, he says, they're crying. And I'm like, okay. He goes, yeah, but he says, not one or two. He says, several people left here crying. And I was like, good. I says, that's what we want. We want that raw emotion.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we want.
Right.
And, so we know that, we are, we're just, I don't know, we're driving the point home, so to speak,
Right.
and we're affecting people, and and we're affecting them in a positive way, and, this is basically it. It's, we want to keep the word going. We don't want to forget.
Yeah, absolutely. And Frankie, I guess the question rolling off of what Chicky just said that I have for you is, we have some amazing young men and women in this sport, and not just because they're good shooters, they're phenomenal shooters, but a lot of them weren't even alive when this happened. And those of us that were alive were impacted by that. I mean, there was obviously not to the magnitude of, you or Matt or Chicky, but there's so many of us that were there for that, and to see these young men and women that weren't there for that, when they come into the trailer, and like Chicky said, they just know what they were taught in school. There was a, terrorist attack.
They had no connection.
Right. Yeah. So where do you walk them from there when they come in? And I've seen it. They come in, they ask a lot of questions. Try to explain how you walk them through all that.
So the whole point of the education is to get raw emotion, like Chicky was describing. But it's more along the lines of the guys on our team and the lady like Kristen on our team, when they deliver the information about what September was like, and the kids and the adults look at the photos of our personal journeys and some of the men and women that were there with us in those photos, they all seem to stop and go, wow, I get the connection now. Now I see what first responders are really all about. The firemen, the cops, the EMS, to tell a story and see it in photos has a huge impact. And this sport, particularly this sport, brings a lot of great people all together because of the sport and because of the raw emotion that goes with it. It's a great feeling when you break a target. And the first responders and the kids making the connections between the sport and reality and what America stands for is real important. And we've kind of like ventured away from respect.
Yeah.
And that's really what we're trying to drive home here, is bring America back.
Yeah.
The way we knew it as kids.
Yeah, we were all down there, and I tell you what, it was powerful. We actually witnessed it firsthand, and it is very powerful what you guys are doing, and we thank you for that, and we're glad that you guys are kind of keeping it going and making people aware of what actually happened. Yeah. So I just want to change gears real quick here, because Matt's been sitting patiently waiting his turn. To tie all this kind of together, Matt, tell us about Tunnel to Towers. What is Tunnel to Towers, and how did your organization come to be?
Yeah, so Tunnel to Towers. Tell the story on who we are and how we got our name. So firefighter Steven Seller was actually coming home from his night tour. He worked in Brooklyn Squad 1, and he was actually going to meet up with his brothers to play golf. On September 11th, he heard that a plane hit the tower. So he told his family, I'll meet up with them afterwards. Turned his truck around, went back to the firehouse. All of his other fellow firefighters, they all responded to the call. So what he did next was he grabbed his gear, threw it in the back of his truck. He tried to drive through what was the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel at the time, and he couldn't get through for security reasons. What he did next was strapped on over 60 pounds of gear, and he ran from the tunnel to the towers, where he was ultimately killed in the collapse of the South Tower. And that's how we got our name. And his family, within a month, started the Tunnel to Towers Foundation to honor his legacy. What a lot of people don't know is Stephen was an orphan by the time he was age 10. So that's why children actually play such a strong part into our foundation. So we have 4 major programs. So we have our Smart Home program, where we provide a mortgage-free smart home to cater to the needs of our catastrophically injured veterans and first responders. We have our Fallen First Responder and Gold Star programs, where we pay off the mortgage for those killed in the line of duty or in a training accident that leave behind young children. And our newest initiative is our Homeless Veteran Program, where we're eradicating veteran homelessness throughout the United States.
Wow. That is incredible.
Yep.
So, I mean, obviously this was a good fit. So, Matt, now there's a pairing with Team 9/11 and T2T. Tell us how that came to be. I mean, tell me how this union happened.
Yeah, so actually how we got started into, sporting clays, we had someone that was hosting a really large fundraiser year after year, and they actually hosted an event at 10 Mile River Preserve. And at some point we just said to ourselves, this seems like it's for us. Let's venture into this. So last year we hosted our first 2 clay shoots, and fortunately Frank and Chicky attended one of our clay shoots, and we just hit it off right from there. 2 ex-cops plus our background, Tunnel to Towers, what we do for our first responder and military community. It just made perfect sense. And since I've taken over the Sporting Clay initiative at the foundation, and the second I met both Chicky and Frank, I knew they were perfect people. They're in this for the right reason, and it just made total sense for us to work together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can understand you're wanting to work with Chicky. I question your motives on Frank. But, come on, Frankie.
Sean, pull the knife out of my back, please.
I'm working on. Hold still. I got it.
And everybody, listen. I know.
Jason, you got a point there, Jason. You got a good point there.
Sean, now you know what I have to put up with.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna have Frank and I are gonna have our own little support group.
Well,
together,
listen, guys. I mean,
wait, we could bring Matt in on that.
Yeah. I don't mean to joke, because this is so serious and so awesome what you guys are doing. But at the same time, we're all friends, so everybody understand. I'm just trying to make light of what can be an intense conversation. So,
right, absolutely,
Jason, absolutely. That's what this is all about.
Yeah.
You have to do that. Absolutely. We do that. That's part of what we were as cops.
Well, look, I have it on camera where Frank's arrested me twice, so I got to do something while I'm over a phone to get back at him.
Not to mention a high-speed buggy chase.
Didn't catch you.
No, I don't know. There was a picture of you having me on the ground with zip ties on my hands, so I don't know.
And there was that high-speed buggy chase before that.
Yes.
So, Hey,
that's not including all the other shenanigans.
Yeah,
shenanigans. That's the right word too.
They're still talking about that down at Vero Beach, that high-speed buggy chase.
That was fun.
Yeah, somebody wanted to write a summons for that.
Uh-oh. Well, hey, in all seriousness, Frank, and again, we love you guys and we really respect what you're doing, and I think you teaming up with the Tunnels to Tower project is also just awesome. But now that you guys are kind of working together, what does that mean for your organization, Team 9/11, and how does that? I guess what's the path moving forward together?
So that is a great perspective when you think about the people that are involved in our sport. We have some phenomenal people in our sport. So as we travel and go to each club and we go to certain events like the Caribbean and Jack Links, we actually open ourselves up to meet new first responders that are active and retired and want to join our team, want to join what we're doing because they want to get involved with their local club and the local kids and their families. So we're trying to make it so that everybody can get involved in this sport in any way possible, whether you're a part of our team or not. And if we can make it more affordable, and that's the hardest part with this sport, is making it more affordable, that's our goal.
Yeah.
So if there's any clubs that want to get involved with their local youth program, we're going to go out of our way. And we've had conversations with a couple of different ammo manufacturers and other great people in the network, like Castellani wants to support us in any way they can. Bear Pelt is a great company. There's a lot of organizations within this, industry that are backing us 100%, and it's so nice to see.
So either Matt or Chicky, whoever wants to take this, what does all this mean to the people that visit the trailer? How does this help bring things to a light with having Tunnels to Towers on board now?
Well, I think it enhances us a lot because Tunnel to Towers is always on Fox News, and they advertise all the time. So I guess where we would, I don't know, I don't want to use the word. It gives us maybe a little bit more credibility.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the right word, but it just being affiliated with Tunnel to Towers just strengthens our resolve, so to speak, and and enhances everything that we do.
Yeah.
Because of being tied in with them, and we want to do everything in our power to help them along the way.
Right.
We couldn't think of a better organization to be involved with.
Yeah, exactly. Really, of all the organizations around, and I've seen quite a few, and Tunnel to Towers is is it. It's everything that that I see that I want to be involved with.
Yeah.
Hey Matt, how many mortgages did you pay off? How many houses did you buy? I mean, the stats that you guys actually have been doing over the last couple of years is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, no, I'd love to share. So last year alone, we provided 41 smart homes. We paid off 207 mortgages, and we housed over 6,500 homeless vets.
What?
All in 1 year.
Are you kidding me?
Holy cow.
Wow.
It's staggering, guys, when you actually look at it on paper. It's like, are you kidding me? Really? And this is all over the country. It's not just, one area. It's all over the place. And they're expanding it.
Matt, that's absolutely incredible. So, both Team 9/11 and Tunnels to Towers, I think at the time when this happened, people had a newfound respect for first responders. But somewhere between then and now, there's been a loss of some respect. Okay, we're not going to dive into it politically, but there has been a loss of some respect. And then now with organizations like both of yours, we're starting to see that come back, right? Do you feel that this is, you're on the front lines every day, you're on the news as Frankie was saying, but do you feel like these organizations are helping get that respect back again? Or it's kind of bringing things to light a little bit more?
Yeah. I definitely do. It's always great. Through this job, I do travel around a lot, like touring facilities, meeting with so many different individuals, whether it's companies or big donors, whatever the case might be. And one of the things too is that's actually so great is when we go into new markets, is a lot of times that those that either have no idea who we are or maybe just heard of us because of our presence on Fox. But once we fully educate them and we share the numbers and we share all the programs that we're doing, it's just a newfound respect. So it's something that we really take pride on. Because we understand that, like how you mentioned in the beginning of the show, it's something that we're here in a tragedy, and it's something that we're always going to be here. And unfortunately, I even mentioned this to Frank today. It's something that I hate to say, but it's something that's never going to change. There's always going to be, first responders that are passing away in the line of duty. We're always going to have our military that are killed. But the great thing is that the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is here. So if you leave behind a family, young children, we're here. We'll take care of your mortgage. If you're renting and you don't have a home, don't worry. We're going to buy you one in a place wherever you want to live in the country. You tell us where you want to be, we'll make it happen. We'll build you a home from the ground up. We'll buy you a home. We'll pay off your mortgage. You want to move back home with your family? We'll take care of it. That's what we're there for. We're there to take the biggest burden off of their shoulders, because what a lot of times people don't understand is, every city's different. I mean, New York, if an officer is killed, they are entitled to certain things like a pension and some benefits. But there's a lot of small towns where, and it was brought to my attention by a recipient. It's you know an individual was killed on a Friday. Monday morning, his widow and children no longer have benefits. They're no longer collecting a check at that point.
Yeah.
It takes time for the death benefits to kick in. So if we can come in right away and pay off that mortgage, and we know that's the biggest burden, and then they don't have to worry about moving their entire family and their kids can live in the same house that they're growing up in.
That is incredible.
Yeah, Matt, I mean, aside from where are you guys headquartered at, if you don't mind me asking?
So we are headquartered in Staten Island, New York. So it's one of the 5 boroughs. We're right outside New York City.
Okay. And because you guys cover the entire country, do you have like other satellite locations across the country, or?
We really don't know.
Okay.
It's pretty, the reason why is so Stephen, the firefighter that the foundation is named after and honored after, he lived in Staten Island. The whole family, the whole Siller family lived in Staten Island. We have a small little office. That's where we'll always be headquartered. But yeah, we really do amazing work all throughout the country. But no real satellite offices. No, not currently.
Well, and the reason
Sean,
why, oh, go ahead, Frank. Sorry.
I'm sorry, Sean. 93 to 95% of the funds goes out, and in a way that it's all accounted for. There's no other foundation that gives out the funds like they do, and they run a very low overhead and actually do the most phenomenal job to help the most amount of people.
Oh,
And that's military and first responders.
Yeah, and I have no doubt about that. And where I was going with this whole thing was, so the big question is, people listening to this, if they want to get involved and help you out, how do they get a hold of you? Who do they get a hold of? And I just didn't know if there was other locations that they could maybe go more locally, but if they need to go directly to you, then let's let our listeners know how to do that.
Yeah, so there's a few different ways you can get involved. The biggest campaign that we offer are $11 a month campaign. I mean, I'm not sure where you guys are, but for me, that's at least lunch right there. I think everybody could afford, lunch one day to help donate to our first responder and veterans. So you can go to t2t.org, or you can call us at 718-987-1931. You can call our team and someone can help you over the phone and make that donation. But there's also other ways that you can get involved. I mean, we have our event series, so we have our run walks, we have our golf series, but also our newest initiative is with these, these sporting clay fundraisers. I mean, in particular, we're trying to go all around the country and have regional events. I'm looking at upwards of 10 events a year. But additionally, on top of that, you have individuals such as Team 9/11 that are going to be hosting their own third-party events. We have other individuals doing third-party events to benefit the foundation. So there's so many different ways to get involved. You can attend an event. If you even want to go, say if there's people listening right now that own their own club, if you want to host a fundraiser, or if there's someone that, just has a local club that they love going to, and they're like, I could put on my own fundraiser to benefit you guys. We're happy to help. You can reach out to me, talk to me directly. Yeah, there's so many different ways to get involved.
Now, Chicky.
And you can always ask one of us.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. I was going to direct this to Chicky because he's being too quiet over there. If somebody wants to donate or help out with Team 9/11, where do they go? How do they get a hold of you guys?
Well, they can get a hold of us. Well, we're building a website now.
Okay.
And we have our bank account now. We have Zelle. If they want to get a hold of me or Frank, I mean, through Facebook, we're always on Facebook. And
Chicky, info at team911.org.
Right. Oh, yeah. And then, right, that's right. We have that info at Team 911. It's 9-11, isn't it, Frank? Or is it just 9/11?
I think it's 9-11.
9-11.org.
Okay.
And we can do it that way. That's how we're starting. Once we get our website up and running, just, lengthy process. We have to, it takes a while since we're not tech heads, and And I'm old, so I'm still used to doing things on a typewriter.
Hey, Chick, you're not the oldest, but you're there.
Hey, listen, don't let him tease you, Chicky. The last time he used a computer, everybody knew it because he had whiteout all over the screen. So,
Yeah.
Good one, Jason. Good one.
Well, you were saying, Matt, that for less than, well, I guarantee it's less than lunch. You can't even pull into the Golden Arches anymore for $11. But what's really cool is both of you guys are holding sporting clay events and you're doing shoots that help benefit both these organizations. What a cool way to go have fun and help out, So, Frankie, won't you run down through, you've got a shoot coming up here pretty quick.
Yeah, April 12th at Mid-Hudson Sporting Clays.
Okay. And then, Matt, do you have one here in the near future too?
Yeah, so I have one coming up May 5th at Hudson Farm in Andover, New Jersey, and we're locking in September 12th at the Preserve. But over the next month or so, we're going to be locking in all throughout the country. I mean, we're going to be Florida, we'll be in the Southeast, we'll probably be in Tennessee, we're going to be 2 times in Texas, we'll be out west, we'll be in the Intermountain West, we'll be around the Great Lakes. We're just trying to go all throughout the country because we understand,
Yeah, don't forget Rocky Creek out there in Idaho.
There we go.
There you go. Heck yeah. So, these events, if people want to register, I'm assuming they're not on Score Chaser, Frankie, or they are?
Our event is on Score Chaser.
Okay.
So you can go look us up. It's Team 911, Shoot for a Cause.
Okay.
For April 12th.
Okay.
The Tunnel to Towers events, unfortunately, right now, we're not on Score Chaser. It's something we're looking into. We're just so new to this, and we kind of have our own platform that we use, but it's something I'm looking into to get on. But if someone does want to sign up for my shoot, right now the registration page is still being worked on, but you can reach out to me directly. You call the foundation, ask to speak with me. I'm happy to give my email, my direct line. You just reach out to me, and I could take care of it on the back end.
Okay.
Or if they need to, they can reach out to any of us. info@team911.org.
Okay. That's Team 9-11.
Yeah, we'll forward that off. We can forward that off to Matthew then.
Yeah, and listen, guys, I'm going to put all the information you guys just shared. I'm going to put it right down in the show description. Anybody listening to this, they can go right down in there and click on those links or, call that phone number or whatever. So whatever it was, you guys just gave all that information out. Somebody driving down the road listening to this probably isn't going to, pull over and write it down. So at least that way it's easy for them to access. So,
thank you, Jason.
Yeah, listen, guys, thank you guys. I mean, sincerely. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
I remember 9/11. Unfortunately, I remember it like it was yesterday. And, Sean and I talked that day. Yeah. Well, not like you guys do, but it's forever in our history, unfortunately. And I say that unfortunately as in it was a tragedy and it was a terrorist attack. And thankfully we have people like you, fine men, that are helping get the word out there and helping the families that need help. So thank you very much. And thank you to all of our first responders. Sincerely, I mean that. We really appreciate you guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, well, Jason, let me tell you a quick one that happened at Jack Link's. We had a gentleman come into the trailer. Actually, it was a couple of guys. And one of them was a fireman from Florida. Frank, you remember this guy?
Yep.
The guy with the he was also working. He was a steel worker, and he knew how to work an acetylene torch. And he was part of burning steel away and cutting holes in order to perform some rescues and to pull people out from under the rubble. He came into the trailer. You talk about raw emotion from this man. It was, believe me, I felt it. Yeah. He was really an amazing person, and I don't remember his name.
Yeah,
I don't either. But what a gentleman!
Yeah,
and that's the funny thing is there's men and women like this all around the country because people came in from around the world. I don't think a lot of people don't realize how many first responders came to help, but couldn't because there was too many people on the pile and too many people in and around Ground Zero. So they hung around in Times Square and near the hotels because they couldn't even go downtown. So as a cop from Midtown North, we got to actually spend time with all these guys from, an Indian reservation way out in Wyoming. And it goes to show you that, everybody across this country was in a completely different frame of mind.
Yeah.
They wanted to help.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a terrible tragedy, but I think that at no other time in my life can I remember when it felt that like the country was more unified than after that happened.
Oh, yeah. Very much so.
Well, Frankie,
because people were frightened.
Yeah, and Frankie, I had known you for a couple of years. This was a while back that I asked this. I had known you for a couple.
Sorry.
Yeah. I had known you for a couple of years before I asked this, and I said, Frankie, were you really at ground zero? And you said yes, and we talked about it for a minute, and you said, listen, there was a lot of good things that came from that tragedy. And you said, we'll talk about it someday. Between now and then, we have not talked about it, but everything that I have seen from all of you since then, now I fully 100% understand what good came out of that. So,
thank you.
Yeah, and I really do hope this impacts a lot of people. Look, I know we're not talking about how to lead a 45-yard crosser right now, but this is very important because it all ties into sporting clays. You guys are using a wonderful sport for a absolutely amazing cause. So I hope we can get good word out, and I hope people will take something from this and want to participate and want to donate.
I hope more people actually that are shooters that are listening to this, when they see us, they'll want to come over and talk to us or shoot with us.
Yeah.
Because that is the real win here, is when they go back to their home club and they see their first responders, they thank them, because there's not enough thanking going on for all the sacrifices that the first responders take, or the military.
Yeah.
They take all the risk. All the risk is right on them. And we need to make sure they know that, how most of America feels.
Yeah, for sure.
Amen to that.
Well, listen.
And by the way,
yeah.
the come to thinking about the good things about America, Kohler Guns actually wants to donate a gun for us to raffle off as one of our Team 9/11 tribute guns. That's custom for anybody that wins that gun. And they could do it as a Team 9/11 gun or whatever, if they're an Army guy, a Navy guy, a Marine, they can do whatever military branch they want as a custom engraved gun from this raffle. And I think that's a phenomenal point we need to bring out to everybody too. Kohler backs us up 100%.
Very cool.
Great company.
Yeah.
Great company. We say it all the time.
We couldn't ask for better people. They are a wonderful family, and they make a fantastic product. And Sean Mainland and Jeff Mainland, and even the gunsmiths, Kevin and Cody, and even Sean's sister, Brooke. They are wonderful.
Really great people.
Yeah.
Great people.
They are.
They really are.
Very, very good family, and we're very blessed to have them on board with us here at the Dead Pair, and couldn't be more honored, more thankful.
Which, by the way, I got to buy tickets for your raffle.
I'll buy one of your tickets if you buy one of our tickets, Frankie.
I'll buy 2 years to every one you buy a month.
Oh, there you go, Sean Alley. Get your wallet out.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Get that ProSign Studio credit card warmed up, my friend. I'm going to burn it up. So
you're going to smoke it. Aren't you?
Yeah.
It'll be melted.
Yeah.
It'll be melted.
Hey, listen, I know some first responders that'll squirt it out if it catches on fire. So,
nice.
So, speaking of honored, humbled, and privileged, it's been absolutely that to have you three on with us tonight. And Matt, thank you very much, man. I know how busy you are, and Chicky and Frankie, I know you guys just got in from running around, so thank you guys very much. We sincerely appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Really.
It's been a pleasure being with you guys, and I hope everybody out there that's actually listening to you guys on a regular basis understand how much good you guys do for the sport. Thank you.
You're the voice of the sport. You really are.
Thank you, guys.
The Dead Pair.
Jason, I tell you what, man. Powerful stuff, dude. Powerful stuff.
Oh, yeah.
What a neat combination between Team 9/11 and Tunnels to Towers. Couldn't think of a better union since peanut butter and jelly, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, and it's almost hard not to get a little choked up when Matt starts talking about everything that organization does. I mean, first responder in need and, family, something, God forbid, something happens, the family's left behind kind of holding the bag and they step up and step in and they take care of them. And I mean, it's just, it's amazing. There really are a lot of good people. If you turn on the news, which is unfortunate, that's all you hear is how bad everything is. But it's people like this and organizations like this that are really turning things around. And man, they have my full support.
Yeah, well, and more than that, dude. I mean, I think we have a lot of false quote unquote deities out there. We idolize sports people and actors and actresses and musicians and stuff, but real heroes are there putting their life on the line, just average everyday folk. And it's humbling when you sit there and listen to them and talk to them and hear their stories. And it doesn't even have to be, Frank and Chic. I mean, just all of the first responders, our military, firefighters, police, EMS, all those guys and gals do a tremendous job. Not enough pay, not enough respect or recognition. So again, hats off and thank you to all the people that do that job, because that is amazing, and we're all better for it.
Well, and the way it ties into shooting and the way it ties into this podcast is they all love shooting clay targets, and they love sporting clays, and they've figured out a way to honor the fallen, if you will, while being out on a sporting clay course, and that they're bringing awareness to everything. They're having a big shoot at Mid-Hudson. Look it up on Score Chaser. That shoot's coming up. Oh, goodness. I think by the time you hear this, you better get on it. I think it's the first or second week of April, Sean Alley. Don't hold me to it, but it's on Score Chaser. It's at Mid-Hudson Sporting Clays. And I'm telling you what, get over there, shoot. I guarantee you're going to have a good time. Obviously, that trailer is going to be there. You're going to get to see everything that we talked about on this episode. I think Matt's going to be there as well. So, it's the sporting clay community, Sean. We've talked about this a bazillion times on this episode, and that's why we want to push people so hard. Man, it takes someone new shooting. Sean Alley, I'm stealing your lines. You better jump in here. But, it's take somebody new shooting, introduce them to how great this sport is. It's not just cool to blow up a clay target, which is why we all start in this, but it's the people behind it, and I think that's what this episode is illustrating, is the people behind this sport, the people that are in this sport.
Yeah, we've said it more times than I can remember. It's a great sport. It's a fun thing to do, very entertaining, and it's easily get addicted to. But once you get in it and you actually start getting to know the people that's in it, I think you build a connection. And a lot of like-minded people, good people, hardworking people. And you know what? I look back over the 5 years we've been doing this, Jason, and there's probably a good 75, 85, maybe 100 people that I talk to on a regular basis now that I would have never met if it wasn't for this sport. So I encourage everybody out there, if you're a new shooter and you're going out there to these tournaments, put a hand out, shake a hand and introduce yourself. You never know who you're going to bump into. I mean, I've met people that I would have never thought in a million years would have anything in common with me. And it just goes to show you, I mean, there's so many great people here. If you don't do that, you're missing out on a big, big positive for this sport. So get out there, shake hands, introduce yourself, get to know some of the local shooters. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at just how many great people there are.
Well, Sean, while you were talking real quick on a little side note, so that shoot at Mid-Hudson is April the 12th. I just looked it up, and it's Team 9/11 Aim for a Cause shoot. And, we're sitting here telling you to take someone new shooting. Well, if you're up in New York or anywhere close to Mid-Hudson, this is a good opportunity. This would be a good shoot to take somebody to. Maybe it's not the time to introduce them to shooting because it's a tournament, but maybe it is. I mean, if you got a buddy that's shot skeet and trap before, tag him along with you. Take him to this tournament and let him check it out. And what a great cause. So, this is a good opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's the best thing you could do. It's a great opportunity. I mean, who cares if it's serious or not? It's just you're doing something for a good cause. That's good enough.
That's right. Hey, real quick, everyone, reminder, when the tournament's over with, it's time for one more shot with Taconic Distillery, and you can save 10% on your order. Get over to Taconic, pick out your favorite. Now, I love the maple. Sean Alley's liking this gin that he's into now. But pick out your favorite drink. Enter the code DEADPAIR10 at checkout. That's DEADPAIR 10 at checkout, no spaces, and you're going to save 10% off your order. Same goes with RE Ranger. We brag about those Reacts all the time. We love them. If you want to try them out and you want to save some money doing it, you can save 10% off your order. Hey, look, a 3-lens kit I think is just a little north of $800, Sean Alley, for the Ranger Reacts. Now they have less expensive glasses. They've got the new Super Shots out. They've got, their old line, not their, I don't want to say the word old. It's really not that old, but
their pre-existing line.
The pre-React line. But you know what? If you look at that, 10% off of that's a flight of shells. So, take advantage of this. Our sponsors are extending an offer to all of you listening. So please patronize them. Get down in the show description or go to our website. Check out the sponsors. There's links in the show description and on our website. We're just, it's easy enough to find them. But understand why we brag about them so much. And I think you guys and gals are going to find the value in them too.
Yep, definitely. Couldn't agree more. Great people out there that are supporting this show. So if you like to support us, then support them.
Well, hey, listen, Sean Alley, buddy, until next week.
Can't wait to see you all back here on the Dead Pair Podcast.
We'll see you next time on the Dead Pair Podcast.
The Dead Pair Podcast is brought to you by Kohler Arms, the mark of performance, and is fueled by Fiocchi USA. The Dead Pair theme song was written, arranged, and produced by Toby Tomplay. Special thanks to the following sponsors: Atlas Traps, Ranger Performance Eyewear, Rhino Chokes, Long Range LLC, Taconic Distillery, Score Chaser, and Clay Range Design Works.